the Apostle Paul, who is the writer of the book of Romans, as I mentioned to you last Sunday, that Paul the Apostle was called by God. I go to the point of this part introduction, we'll go to the main point. Paul the Apostle, according to the amount of this man and how he was converted from a die-hard zealot, martyr and persecutor of the Christian church during his time. He was a zealot, dedicated for the cause. No one in his time can be better than him as far as dedication to Judaism is concerned. No one. He is at the top of the list. And he was given the approval by the chief priest. Anywhere in the place of his jurisdiction, any gathering of Christian family or synagogue or anyone that believes in Jesus Christ, Paul was given an authority to chain them, bind them hand and foot, bring them to the city, and they can command, stone them to death. That's the Apostle Paul. And later on, as he continued to do that without any mercy, as far as the law of God of the Old Testament is concerned, he was on the top of the line, which means he followed them all. In other words, he was perfect in obeying the law. As far as the law, he is on the top of the list. One day, Apostle Paul was waiting for the Christians. He was riding in a horse in the Damascus road. And here comes a bright, shining light from heaven, shone upon Paul, and he fell from his horse, and he heard the voice, "Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me? Who are you, Lord?" And the voice said, "I am Jesus of Nazareth. It is very hard for you to kick against the pricks." And then that moment in time, Apostle Paul, when he fell to the ground, he was completely blind. So for the first day, second day, and third day, the book of Acts, chapter 9, in a vision, God gave a vision as a disciple of Jesus Christ by the name of Ananias. Ananias, I want you to go to that man Saul. He was living in a certain place. I want you to do something for me. And I want you to anoint or put your hand of blessing upon the Saul of Tarsus. And Ananias was very, resisting, and he was not in fear, "Lord, don't you know the background of this man? He was a martyr, he's a persecutor, and of Jesus Christ, your name, oh God, and now you're commanding me to go there and lay my hands, that he would receive sight and be filled with the Holy Ghost." And God said, "Ananias, obey me, just go, because he is a chosen vessel. I have to use him to become an apostle or minister to the Jewish, exclusively to the Gentile nation, because he will suffer so much for me." And that was the calling of Paul in the book of Galatians, chapter 1. Apostle Paul opened up his life, that God is so gracious, give him a stamp of approval to be an apostle in his mother's womb. Wow! In that moment, if you open your eyes to say that God in his timetable has placed upon his hand of blessing upon each one of us, the same thing with Paul, because Paul, even he was a persecutor, because of ignorance, he was chosen while he's still in the womb of the mother in the book of Galatians. What a man. Now here we are. Paul now is a servant of Jesus Christ, and then the same Paul was a servant of Jesus Christ after that. He did not go to Jerusalem to explain to them that I am Jesus Christ. He spoke to me. What he did, he went to Arabia, and God, for 3 years time, he was taught by God, by Jesus Christ, about the deep things of God. And that's the reason why the book of Romans, God unveiled to us the completeness doctrine of God, so each one of the Jewish people to the Gentile nation could understand God as a respected person to the Gentile world and then to the Jewish community. And here we are, Paul, as we studied last Sunday. Paul, a bondservant of Jesus Christ, he didn't even identify himself as a servant who you can buy your kind of shoes that you want. You can eat the kind of food you want to eat. He didn't even identify as servant, but a bond servant of Christ, which means I have no identity. I am completely dedicated to the cause of Christ, and that's the reason why the same man, he said, for me to live is Christ, and for me to die is profit, it is gain. And he goes on to say, whether I live or I die, his life revoked in one particular destination. Whether I live or I die, I live for Jesus Christ. Now, in this particular opening of Paul about servant, he opened up number 1 before we jump to the next verse there. And then here is Paul. Because of the prophecy from the olden days, that here is the gospel, that Jesus Christ, who was promised by the prophet from the olden times, has now revealed to us. Here is the word of God, which he promised before our Lord, who was born of the seed of David according to the flesh. Number 1, the promised Messiah has been born by a woman. So he can identify with the light of the flesh. He is pure man. And then he goes on to say, and declared to be the Son of God with power according to the Spirit of holiness by resurrection from the dead. And so here is Paul revealing to the Jewish people, revealing to the Gentile people outside of the covenant of Israel, that Jesus Christ is pure God and pure man. He became mind and emotion like man, but because he was holy, complete holiness, and he died and rose again, testifying that God from the beginning of time is God. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And the same was in the beginning with God. And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld the glory of the only begotten Son of God. So we can see Jesus Christ became flesh to be pure man, so he can be the mediator between God and man. He is the way to the light, and Jesus Christ go to that level so he can be connected and understand the gospel, or the good news of Jesus Christ is for all. So we now begin from verse 8 and now jump to the main exposition. He goes on to say, here's Paul. And the topic would like to expound to you here, about the topic. Life changed by the gospel. Life changed by the gospel is something from verse 8 to verse 17. I will dissect it. Follow me so closely in the Word of God. Let me say first, Paul is speaking, that I thank God through Jesus Christ for all of you, because your faith in Him is being talked all over the world. God knows how often I pray for you, day and night. I bring you in your needs and prayer to God, whom I serve with all my heart, by spreading the good news about His Son. One of the things I always pray for is the opportunity, God willing, to come at last to see you. I want you to see the changed life of this man, Apostle Paul. Remember, he is so biased as far as life is concerned. Very prejudiced. Anyone that is not part of Judaism, they must be cut off, they must be killed, they must be destroyed, especially the Christian. Now, number 1, as you can see in the life of Paul, Paul is revealing to us, as a man that has been changed by God, Paul is concerned about his own people, and then is concerned about the people of Rome. Let's go further in there. Here we can see Paul now, his mission was first and foremost to the Jewish race. For salvation is of the Jews. And Israel is in power, and he shall be witnesses to me in Jerusalem, in Judea, in Samaria, into the uttermost part of the earth. For salvation is to the Jew first, and then later on to the other nations of the world. Now, Apostle Paul, I want you to understand this man about visiting Rome. And I told you last Sunday, he was not the founder, neither any of the apostles, and he was not, they don't know many of them because it expanded so much. But I could see in the heart of this man, amazing, I want you to say, and I want you to feel the intensity of the heart of Paul beating for the people of Rome, how he loved them. Day and night I pray for you. So you can see in the life of Paul, his focus used to be sought in Judaism, it is now reshaped to another direction where the son of Paul is dead and is now going from the Jewish race, and because they rejected Jesus Christ, now Paul is revealing he is now going to a direction where God loves the Roman people, and then that they are entitled of the eternal promise of God. So the life of Paul from some focus and then goes to another group of people, which is important. Okay, we'll go now to the point 1, 2, and 3. I make it short. Here we are, is Apostle Paul. Let's go to verse 14. Okay, I have a little background here. I want you to know, so you see the background of this. How this man from Jerusalem, and he waited such moment in time, at least 4 years, to realize his dream will be fruitful, or the God's timetable to go to Rome. Here we are. I want you to know, dear brothers and sisters, that I planned. It was placed in prayer. I'm very sure. He waited patiently, which is one of the hardest things in man's journey, is to wait. And then that I planned many times, not only 1, 2, or 3, many times, for the span of 3 to 4 years, approximately. But I was prevented until now. I want to work among you. Here is the desire, because I want to see this spiritual fruit. I want to see, even though I was not the founder of Roman Believers Church, I have the heart, at least I could see some fruit among you, so I can be partakers of your rejoicing. And in return, Paul was talking, that I'll be comforted, I'll be celebrating with you because I can see you, I can impart you some good thing, and in return, because of your faith and love to God, I will be comforted and be blessed, because the Word of God is never confined or bound. The Word of God is free, and the result, you are the testimony of the power of the gospel. I want you to say, before we go to 3 points here, Paul planned to visit Rome. And he stayed in Rome for so many years. It was hindered because, as I told you, Paul has to do a particular project to the Lord precisely according to the will of God. He didn't want to jump right away. I love that kind of life. He is not a person who just jumped when opportunity opened, another opportunity. He was so precise, and he waited at least for 3 years. And then when the time has come to move from Jerusalem going to Italy or Rome before Spain, you know what happened? I want to say, instead of a wonderful, prosperous journey, it was the opposite. I wanted to see the journey, and I gave a little comment in jump to the 3 points. So possibly a prosperous journey where we can be a blessing and there be celebration. In reality, it was not a good journey. In fact, in the journey from Jerusalem to the Greek island, and then Malta before the Greek island, there was a shipwreck. The whole boat, about 160 passengers, and God spoke to Paul, tell them, because they are hard-headed. Paul said, go to this direction, no, we have to go to this direction, or flowing the wind in the direction, and they didn't listen to Paul. And God promised to Paul, no one of these people, 168 of them, if I'm not mistaken, and that number would be lost. They will be spared. And Paul said to them, ladies and gentlemen, I just put it this way, I want you to understand, God is speaking to him, no one will be destroyed. The ship will be destroyed, but everybody will be spared by God. You can see in that journey, follow in this time, when you're in the center of the will of God, don't expect it's gonna be a road or bed of roses. Not every perfect will of God is a bed of roses. In fact, it is a rough times that God providentially allowed. So in that journey of faith, we can understand when you're weak, then you become strong. Amen. So thank God for the testimony of the family. There's a reason. So when I heard the testimony from there and suffering and then rise up, I said, Lord, once again, you prove your power. And secondly, They were spared. They're floating with a piece of wood. God is Northern Light. 168 of them.